Hey everybody, it is your favorite Pokathlete here. We are still in the Pokathlon Dome. Looks like there's an upstairs and a downstairs. Just want to check these out and see what's going on. I see a big long hallway and a light at the end of the tunnel. Oh, you can spectate. That's cool. She roots for her boyfriend behind a column. That's weird. Alright, so that's kind of cool, I guess. Beat a Machamp at wrestling. That would be very, very tough. Definitely a fight worth seeing. And actually, I'm guessing the escalator over here was a up escalator as well. Probably goes to the other area. No, it does seem to be a down escalator. So where does this go? Oh, like a Hall of Fame here. Alright, an almanac here. Oh, that's a special room for special Pokeathletes, I guess. Alright, well, that's very interesting. An old wall painting. A person through Pokemon are learning something from looking at the sky. Is that a shiny Zubat? It's hard to tell because it's just a little sprite, but that looks like a shiny Zubat. I hope so. That's kind of cool. It'd be cool if there was like one trainer who used a shiny Pokemon. What would be really cool would be if it was random. Like if you could see a shiny, but it was only in a contest, you couldn't catch it. That'd be kind of taunting, but it kind of makes sense. It makes the game seem a little more realistic. Sure, tell me about your dream. He used to love jump events. The record I have from when I was fully active is 998. 2 more. All I had to make was 2 more, but I had to retire due to my age. You couldn't have gone for like just 1 more game? So if I jump 1,000 times to get the record, I guess he gives me something, but don't know what. Oh, we should buy our prizes while we're here. So I did look up what those apricorns do. None of them really make anything that great. And in fact, the 3 colors that she offers are the exact same 3 I currently have in my apricorn case. So I kind of wonder if that's coincidence, or maybe you can only buy apricorns that you already have, which is kind of annoying. But let's just buy some Moo Moo Milk. It restores HP by 100 points. It's pretty cheap. Oh, you can only buy 1 a day. Alright then, I guess that's all we're going to buy. Maybe I'll come back here and buy more later. I could just buy apricorns while I'm here, but I really am not going to use them for anything, so... Or I'm very unlikely to use them for anything, so I'm not too worried about getting more of them. Rather save my points. Oh, so I did look up the move that I thought was sold at the department store, and I think when I had seen that a while ago, I misread. It's one of the prizes for the raffle lottery thing. And it's only the prize on, I think it was like a Sunday or something like that. Today is not Sunday, it is Thursday, and the prize for that is Drain Punch, which maybe Heracross could learn. But you know what, we're pretty close to the department store. It's only a quick bike ride. Why don't we take a bike ride down there, see if maybe I get lucky. And we also should heal our Pokemon, so it's not really that far out of our way. Although I guess I could have used that Moo Moo Milk to heal a Pokemon, or some of the potions I have in my inventory. But the reason I really like Moo Moo Milk is because in terms of like cost per health point, it's really, really efficient. It might be the most efficient thing in the game. There is a person who sells herbs, which I mentioned before. I think you actually find them in the underground on certain days of the week. And they have a really good cost to health ratio as well. But as I said, they make your Pokemon like you less because they are pretty bitter, so that's kind of annoying. It could be useful though if you have them move Frustration and want them to do more damage with it, but I tend to like being nice to my Pokemon. Department store is right down here, and we will just take the elevator real quick up to the top floor where the raffle is. Elevator, there you are. Luckily there is one other place you can get the TM that I was looking for. And it's not a move that I really want that badly on Heracross, but it will be super effective against the next gym, so... Bike shop. Guess I have no choice. Hey, it's the bike shop. I've been selling a lot of bikes lately. It's because you've been riding around that bike advertising. I was wondering how to thank you, and I'm going to thank you by just giving you the bike. Alright, very nice of you. Appreciate it. Wow, it's already 12:38. Okay, time flies when you're having fun, I guess. But, that's okay. It's only 2 more days of work this week. As long as I get a decent amount of sleep tonight, I should be fine. Let's go ahead and enter the lottery. A TM60, a quick ball, or a berry. Alright, wish us good luck. It does cost money, but why not? Number 3 prize. Oh. Aspear berry. So I guess this is one of the ways you get berries here, since there don't seem to be very many berry trees in Johto. And while I'm here, let me buy another thing of fresh water. Yay, fresh water. Alright. I think that's enough in Goldenrod for the time being. What do you guys say we head to the route to the north of here, once again? And this time we're going to do a different, not really a mini game. I guess it's a mini game, but it's a mini game that's more related to the main game. The bug catching contest. Bug catching contest is a lot of fun, and definitely one of the best memories, as far as I'm concerned, from the Generation 2 games. Just like the name sounds, you go out into a big field, kind of like the Safari Zone a little bit, and catch bug types. And I don't remember if you use your own Pokemon. I think you do get like Park Balls. I didn't delete Yawn, so Olive might be useful there. Let's go ahead and put Olive out first. Alright, there we go. And you know what? I should probably save my Asper Berry, but I'm going to go ahead and give it to Heracross. It heals freezing, and there is a very low chance that I will actually be frozen at some point, but it might happen. And if it does, I'll be like, oh, the Asper Berry healed it. That's cool. And if not, I'll just get it back whenever I find a better hull item. So, win-win. Alright, let's get on my bicycle, which I now own and am no longer borrowing. And we will head to, I think it's called the National Park. I could be wrong. Oh, there was a PC there. I could have just, yep, National Park. I could have just healed by using that. If you put a Pokemon in a PC and take it out again, it's automatically healed back to full HP. Fun fact. Alright, talking to some people. That's a Persian. The evolved form of Meowth. Oh, must be a teacher. Oh, she's gonna give me something. Quick Claw, okay. Well, remember what I said about getting a better held item? Actually, you know what? I'm gonna give that to Togepi, because I think Togepi is slower. And honestly, that... Oh, now I'm so tempted to teach it Fire Blast. Teach her Fire Blast, because Charcoal would power up Fire Blast, which would be really great. Until I decide, though. Speed 36, speed 29, speed 42. So yeah, Olive is my slowest Pokemon. Let's take the Charcoal for now, and give her the Quick Claw. That way, even if the opponent is faster, we still have a small chance. I think it's like 10% chance, maybe 20% of going first. Not really a reliable item, but hey, it's something. Alright, before we begin the bug catching contest, I want to ride around a bit. There is a broken link somewhere in this fence, I recall. I think it's to the north, or at least it was in Gen 2. Might have changed. It might be, if they're really tricky, it's going to be behind a light post. That'd be a really, really tricky part. But I don't think it is. I think they wanted to make it a little obvious. What is the notice? No ball playing other than Pokeballs. Well, she has many Pokewalkers. What is a Pokewalker? A couple people have mentioned that now. Up here it is. He's out of breath. He's been running to charge the Pokewalker. Yeah, hopefully they didn't replace the bug catching contest. I don't think they did. So, ooh, hopefully that's... No, I know what that is. That is a shiny stone. Because I need rock climb to get up there, and you can only get rock climb once you get to the latter part of the game. And because I didn't want to wait a really long time to get a Togekiss, I actually got this shiny stone in my old Heartgold version. I was really happy it was still there. I was sure that I had gotten it before, because I've trained, I think, 3 Togekiss so far. So I was worried I had used up all the shiny stones in my previous game. Soothe Bell's cool item too. It makes your Pokemon like you more. If I still had a Togepi, I would definitely give it to Togepi, but because I have a Togekiss, it's not quite as important. Let's head over this way and see what there is. I feel like there was a good item here too that I looked up at one point. I just don't remember what it was. That is a tree, not an item. Dig! Okay, that's a pretty good move. And I do want to save that for a Pokemon that we don't have yet and might not get for a little while. I think Meganium can learn Dig, which is really tempting. It's a good move to teach a Meganium, or Bayleaf rather. But I do want to save it. Alright, so I think that's about all we can do in this little secret zone here. But we can battle some trainers, or we could do the bug catching contest. And since we can always come back and battle trainers afterwards, let's do the contest. Today's Thursday, that means the bug catching contest is on today. The rules are simple. Using one of your Pokemon, catch a bug-type Pokemon to be judged. Would you like to give it a try? Yes, sir, I would. You have more than one Pokemon. I am definitely fine using Olive, because Olive has a sleep move. Now, hopefully they don't lose health when you fight. Sport balls, not like park balls or anything. Alright. So you can catch more than one. Hopefully your health gets healed or something, because otherwise this will be really hard. And the person who catches the best one wins. And I'm pretty sure the other trainers here during the contest are hunting, and not, they won't fight you, because that'd be really scary if they could fight you when you only have one Pokemon. Alright, Butterfree is a good Pokemon, so you can get, like, Caterpie and Weedle, which are not as good as Metapod, and Kakuna, which are not as good, point-wise, as Butterfree and Beedrill. Butterfree and Beedrill are pretty good ones. Oh, I'm asleep. We're both asleep. Doesn't really matter, though, because I can still throw a Pokeball when I'm asleep. But I can't weaken it. I don't think Extrasensory will defeat it in one hit. Let's try it. Olive is fast asleep. The animation there is the same animation from like Leftovers or some berries, so I was thinking that that's what that was, and I was really confused for a second. Or no, maybe it was. It was the Quick Claw triggering. That must be what it was. But I'm faster anyway? I guess it can still trigger. Alright, we are awake first. That's definitely good. Alright, good. Now Butterfree is still asleep for at least one more turn. So let's go ahead and use one of our Sport Balls. Keep your fingers crossed. Butterfree would be a very good Pokemon. Depending on how lucky our competitors get, that could win first place, but I'm pretty sure we're going to win at least second. Unless they all get really lucky. There's some kind of outliers here too. Oh, and sorry, I didn't keep going with my thought before. Plus, we actually get to keep these Pokemon, so, well, we get to keep the final one. So we caught a Butterfree. We'll hold on to Butterfree for now. And Butterfree is not actually in our party yet. So it's not really our Pokemon until you choose your final one. So the best Pokemon here are Scyther and Pinsir. Another Butterfree. This one's higher level. I don't know if that matters or not. I think it does, though. I think it makes a difference. So let's go ahead and use Yawn. Butterfree is faster and it knows Sleep Powder. Unlike Yawn, which is 100% accurate, Sleep Powder has like 75% accuracy. But that was all it needed. On the bright side, I can't be poisoned if I'm already asleep. Not really like a logical thing, but I guess the game only had room for one status condition back in the first generation. And that's a mechanic they just kept, that you can only have one permanent status condition at a time. Or volatile, or whatever you call those real status conditions. You can be like confused and paralyzed, but you can't be like frozen and asleep. Alright, so while Butterfree is falling asleep, let's go ahead and use Extrasensory. Now we are stunned, that's unfortunate. But on the bright side, I can no longer be put to sleep, so always a silver lining. I could use Metronome, maybe get a weak attack, but because Butterfree is asleep, I think my chances are pretty good. After all, I caught the last one on just one throw. Alright, this one too, I'm getting lucky. I wonder if you defeat them if you get XP. I assume you would. So you do have a choice, and yeah, this one is one level higher, so sure. It's a little better. Release Butterfree and caught Butterfree. Release my Butterfree, just like Ash. I'm doing a lot of reminiscing about the anime tonight, but that was a sad episode. I mean, it was a big part of my childhood. So there's a Caterpie. Hopefully I can still run away from it. Yes, good. Whether or not you can run away, I'm pretty sure is based on the Pokemon speed stat. And I don't know if paralysis plays into that calculation or not. Because when you're paralyzed, your speed stat is cut in 4. It's only 25% of what it would normally be. But either it's not counted for the sake of running away, or I'm just still faster. Level 14 Butterfree. We're probably about to find out, because I'm sure Butterfree is faster than my speed divided by 4. Alright, guess it works. And it seems to be like it's a roll or something, so it's not always if you're faster or not. It's like random, but the faster you are, the better chance you have. So what I'm really looking for now is either a higher level Butterfree, which is unlikely, or higher level Beedrill. But I'd rather have a Scyther or Pinsir, even if they're lower level. They are the rarest Pokemon, and I think have the lowest catch rate of the ones you find here. There we go, Scyther. Plus Scyther's a cool Pokemon. Scyther's one of the few Pokemon that wasn't in Blue, or wasn't catchable in Pokemon Blue, that I really, really like. I always had a soft spot for Pinsir because it was in Blue, but to be honest with you, Scyther is just more awesome. There is the Quick Claw again. I mean, you saw Scyther fighting for Bugsy. It's a really good Pokemon, and definitely a solid Pokemon to have on your team. If you're looking for a Pokemon, could use a Bug type, just like I have Heracross. Scyther is also a very worthy catch. It can evolve in this game. It's one of the few evolutions, maybe the only evolution, that does not actually gain stat points when it evolves. Its stats get redistributed, but it has the same total amount of stat points. Or base stat points, I should say. Obviously, the actual stats vary depending on a number of factors. So you may or may not want to evolve Scyther. I would evolve Scyther because Scizor, its evolution, is a Generation 2 Pokemon. And it is Steel and Bug type, so it has a lot of resistances and only one weakness, which is 2 Fire type attacks. It is a double weakness, but still, it's not too bad. Okay, Scyther's still asleep. That's good news. We still have a decent amount of Park Balls left, or Sport Balls left, rather. I think our odds are good. And I don't think they can run away. Not really sure about that. Alright, so we caught a Scyther. So it is a lower level. And level, I'm pretty sure level does play into it. But I think a 14 Scyther is still better than a 15 Butterfree. And I do like how the Pokemon get added to your Pokedex even if you only have them temporarily. So yes, we will switch to Scyther. Alright, very cool, but we still have some time. So I guess at this point all I really need to do is get a higher level Scyther or Pinsir. Not sure if it's a time limit or a step limit or just until you run out of the Sport Balls. We'll go for another little while, just walk around, make a big loop. And if we don't find anything by the time we get back to the gatehouse, I'll go ahead and call it. I think you can exit via either gatehouse and it ends the contest, but the reward announcement is done at the other gatehouse. I'm also not sure if the different grass types make a difference. I don't think they do. I think they're just for aesthetic effects. Kind of makes a giant Pokeball, obviously. There's actually a place in Baltimore, sort of east of the Inner Harbor. I forgot what it's called. I think it's called Inner Harbor East. It's the newer area where they have a traffic circle, which from Google Earth looks like a Pokeball. It's really, I'm sure it was unintentional, but it'd be really cool if like the guy who designed it was a Pokemon fan, and that's why he stuck it in there. Alright, Caterpie. If I wasn't paralyzed, I would try to defeat these for some extra experience, but not really worth the chance of getting fully paralyzed. Paris, high level, so that's something, but I think Paris is probably better than Caterpie or Weedle in terms of points, but not as good as Metapod or Kakuna. Same with Venonat, which I think is the other option here. If there are any other Pokemon besides those 10, then I'm honestly not sure. I think we're in pretty good shape though. 14 Scyther is a decent catch. I think we're guaranteed at least second place. I'd be really surprised if we didn't get at least second, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if we got first. Alright, so let's do one more encounter for luck. Could it be a Scyther or Pinsir? Nope, just a Paris. So we did get pretty lucky finding 2 Butterfree and a Scyther right away. Let's go ahead and see if our Scyther wins us the bug catching contest. There's some good prizes too, I seem to recall. And there's a first, second, and third place prize. Okay, so it is time based, but yeah, I don't want this episode to go on super long. I'd rather get some other stuff done. Oh, cool! You can see in your menu. I didn't even notice that. Who you caught and how many Pokeballs you have left. All right, time to judge. We have chosen the winners. Are you ready? Placing third is Ace Trainer Abby, who caught a writhing Venonat. All right, looking good if Venonat won third. Placing second is Picnicker Cindy, who caught a wriggling Metapod. All right, so if we didn't beat those guys with a Scyther, I mean, we should have beat them both with a Butterfree. Looks like I caught all the good Pokemon today. If I could enter more than once, I would have had first, second, and third place. And the winner is Joe, who caught a whopping Scyther. Whopping. 299 points. Very nice. And I win a Sunstone. That's right. That allows you to evolve a Sunkern into Sunflora. Not a good Pokemon, but still worth having for your Pokedex. We are not going to give a nickname to Scyther because it won't be part of our permanent team. Great Pokemon. Might even end up using it for a fight somewhere. But yeah, it's just our prize for the bug catching contest. Alright then, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's go ahead and head into the gatehouse just to kind of reset the area. Is there a PC here? There is not. So let's go ahead and... do I have a Paralyze Heal? You know what, let me go ahead and switch to Rod. Because Rod could also use some XP, and Rod's at full health. And I imagine a lot of these people have bug types, in which case Aerial Ace will be super effective. It is School Kid Jack with an Oddish, not a bug type, but a grass type will also be weak to Aerial Ace. Critical hit, very nice. I'm really excited to get to Ecruteak City because there's some cool mythology in that city, and I don't entirely remember. I don't want to get paralyzed by his abilities. Let's use Rock Tomb. But I think in Heartgold and Soul Silver there's some plot developments as well. And of course, the 4th gym leader is also there, and that would be a lot of fun. There's some other really fun battles as well. I forgot about those until just now. I don't want to spoil it in case you haven't seen it before. But, oh, I was worried I was going to miss, but I really don't want to use a contact move against a Voltorb. That 30% chance is too high up. And what do I get? I miss and get stunned by Spark anyway. So be it. Wow, Sonic Boom is good. If I'm fully paralyzed, that's it. Nope. Once again, Rod gets lucky. I did look up Stomp after that battle, and Stomp has a 30% flinch chance, not 20% like I thought. So that's why Whitney was getting lucky. I haven't gone back and watched that video yet, so I want to count and see how lucky she got, because I feel like she did get luckier than average, but sure, we'll trade battle tips. Hopefully, the way the game determines calls is one call every 10 minutes or something, or every 1,000 steps, and then it decides who calls you. If it's a random chance for each person you have a phone number for, that's more realistic, but that's going to get really annoying. Alright, since they're both paralyzed, let's bring out Cherry for a while. Why not? We haven't used him in quite a while. Besides for the battle with Whitney. And I think this is probably a Pokefan. So maybe she has... Yep, Pokefan Beverly. A normal type? Snubble. Yep, Snubble is a normal type. It becomes Fairy once they add Fairy types, but there is no Fairy type, so Snubble is still normal. Now it does know Intimidate, which is unfortunate because I only know physical attacks. Charm. Is that going to lower my attack further? Oh, it is. I'm going to have to hope for a critical hit or just whittle away its health. Luckily, Razor Leaf has an increased critical chance. I'm surprised that didn't do less damage than that after the charm. It barely did less than the first attack. whereas it should do half as much. Well, I guess not half as much, because I was already intimidated. So after 1 intimidate, you do 2/3 as much. After 2 intimidates, I want to say you do 1/3 as much? Jeez, so many phone numbers. Okay, fine. I just don't want to like miss anything, but I don't know. Oh, she wants a Meryl to go with her Snubble. Those were the very first 2 Pokemon to be revealed for Gen 2. Wonder if that's a reference to that. I think it's only the trainers in the grass who will challenge you to a fight. There's one now. Hello, why are you staring at me? Oh, a battle? And in case you were trying to catch some cool bug Pokemon outside of the bug catching contest, not an option. They have pretty normal Pokemon in these fields outside of the contest. Not sure why, I guess they like release a bunch of bug Pokemon before the contest. Kind of like when they put fish into lakes for fishermen. But that's just the way it is. So if you want a Pinsir or a Scyther on your team, then gotta participate in the bug catching contest. Which I would recommend doing, regardless. You could also add like a Paris or Venonat or Butterfree or Beedrill, but I would not recommend that. Okay, good. Razor Leaf is super effective against Cubone, so this should be a one-hit KO. Honestly, if you were going to train like a Butterfree or Beedrill, I would just suggest training a Venomoth, because Venomoth I think is a little better stat-wise. It's sort of like it always felt like the grown-up version of the bugs. Like, Beedrill and Butterfree are for like starter trainers, and then Venomoth is a little more mature, but it's still not that great. It's like every other trainer can give you a phone number. But so far I haven't gotten like inundated with calls, so I'm okay giving it out. Venomoth can also learn like some cool psychic attacks like Psychic or Psybeam. And I think Venomoth, well not in this game, but in later games it can also learn Quiver Dance, I'm pretty sure. Which is a really good bug type move. It increases your speed, special defense, and special attack by 1 stage. So it's like Dragon Dance, but the special version, but better, because it also increases your special defense. There is a Gen 5 Pokemon called Volcarona that can learn that move. It's very, very powerful. Actually, I trained one in my Pokemon White 2 or Black 2, whichever one I played. I think it was White 2. Which, like I said, I don't have the full Let's Play on YouTube, but I do have the major battles. Alright, I guess that's all the trainers here. You guys aren't trainers. So let's head onward, and I'll go a little bit further tonight because don't have time to do a whole new episode, and it would be nice just to do a little more. Now unfortunately we are going to be facing some trainers with only 1 Pokemon that's not paralyzed, but we'll see how that goes. At least it is our best Pokemon. Alright, not sure if we have any blue Apricorn. I think that becomes a Lure Ball. Good for fishing. Let me guess what you're thinking. He must be a Psychic. I remember this guy, and I remember him being tough. Does he have like a... No, never mind. I thought he had like 1 strong Pokemon, but I must be wrong. Like, no, maybe he has a Kadabra? That might be it. I feel like in Gold and Silver he had just 1 Kadabra, but I also feel like they didn't really update Pokemon between these generations. They kept the same teams for trainers. Which makes sense, because I feel like reprogramming that might be a lot of legwork. He does have Kadabra, so maybe I'm remembering correctly, and it was just he had 2 Pokemon plus Kadabra. Reflect won't really do anything against Kadabra, because it tends to use special attacks like Confusion. So we are just going to go for Razor Leaf. Luckily Kadabra does have a pretty weak defense stat, so maybe this will one-hit KO it? It did. Okay, lucky. Very lucky. Because Kadabra is fast, and Kadabra is strong. And he has a second Abra. Abra, on the other hand, is not really that great. It's more great in terms of its potential. Or if you teach it TMs, it can learn lots of great TMs. And I don't know if you guys remember the Baby Cup back in like Pokemon Stadium 2, but I did really enjoy playing that. But you could only enter with level 5 Pokemon, so it was cool because the challenge was to like breed a level 5 Pokemon or teach them TMs and all. That made them really powerful. So I had a really good team. It had an Abra on it with some really good diverse moves. It had a Dratini. So here's where that bush takes you. You can just kind of go around National Park, but why on earth would you want to do that? I can properly prepare for any Pokemon adversary. Is he a school kid? Yes, he is, School Kid Allen. And he has a Tangela, which is not great. Let's go ahead and use Tackle. I might use Reflect, but I want to see if Tangela's going to use a physical attack first. Nope, it's going to poison me. And grass types can get poisoned. We do have Synthesis if we need it. But it does heal half of our HP, so I'm not going to use it yet. Growth, that increases Tangela's special attack. Tangela has a cool evolution that they added in Gen 4 as well. And this is technically a Gen 4 game, so you could evolve your Tangela if you have... I think you teach it the move Ancient Power. But I'm kind of wondering if it would just evolve it right away, or if it only evolves with Ancient Power if you have the National Dex, which you get much later on. But I can evolve my Togekiss without the National Dex, as long as I have a Shiny Stone, which I do. So logic would then seem to suggest that I could also evolve a Tangela with Ancient Powder, even if I don't have the Dex. Alright, if this next tackle misses, I am in a lot of trouble. Luckily, it did not. Good job, Cherry. Alright, so my team is not in great shape right now, but they fought hard, and I think they deserve a rest, as do I, to be honest with you. Hey look, somebody else wants my phone number. Don't I feel popular? Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and end the episode here. I'm going to run back to the Pokemon Center and heal up. That way when we start the next episode tomorrow, we will be all ready to go. We will take on the final stretch of this route, including that strange tree, and make our way to Ecruteak City, which, as I said before, I am really looking forward to. So I hope you guys have an awesome night, and I will see you all in the next episode.